Hey guys, today just a little talk about Mythic Plus in common, more an overview. It's not a tank guide. It's not a Vengeance Demon Hunter guide or something else. I just want to talk a little bit about my first experience in Mythic Plus this season with the new affix. With the new season started. So what's going on? What you have to care about, or if you should wait for playing Mythic Plus, or like I said, just a little overview about everything, about the experience that I had so far. I played some 15, 14s. I played even 1 plus 12 just to see what's going on, to learn little bit about the affix, the new one, the encrypted. I did not inform myself before the tier started a lot, so yeah, I just was going in there with an open mind, see what's going on. And it's always like, I can understand when people are thinking like, oh man, should I really go directly inside of a plus 15 or whatever, or should I start low? What I have to do as a tank, maybe especially as a tank with the new routes, or are there super new routes? What I have to do to make it timed, or to be possible to play them so you get a better chance for good items in the wall with good item level and stuff like this. And at the end of the day, I can tell you, it didn't change a lot. So it depends a little bit on your item level, and if you play with guildmates or if you play by your own, and try the packing thing to pack some keys. Um, But at the end of the day, what I played like 22, 23, or some 24s at the end of last season. My item level is you see around 251, 252. So it's good, but it's not like wow, it's because the highest item level that you ever saw or something like this. But if you are around this, you definitely are easily able to play 15s right now. You don't have to wait or something like this. Whatever. Just go in and try it out. Yeah, maybe some keys are hard to time, especially now. First week is bolstering. That can cost you a lot of time, especially on some dungeons like spires, spires of ascension, for example, or whatever. And yeah, tyrannical. Usually tyrannical is also not favored by most people, so it's definitely not an easy week to start. But at the end of the day, it's a normal Mythic Plus week. So my recommendation is just go in and start. Uh, you have the possibility to play definitely 15s when you were able in the last season to play 20 plus. Um, if this is your first season, then definitely I would recommend you to start a little bit lower, so you don't have negative experiences happening to you. Um, but yeah, like I said, the roots. Don't think a lot about the roots and the new affix, the encrypted one, because it. I think it makes it maybe even more easy to figure out a route, especially when we talk about 15s and things like this. Later on in the future, maybe okay, that will be a big topic when we talk about playing plus 22, plus 25 keys. Then you have to think around this affixes and time them very well for a big pool or stuff like this. But right now, take a route that gives you 100% of the necessary trash mobs, and then just play the dungeon like you want. Make no wipes, for sure. I mean, what advice is this? Everybody knows it's bad to have wipes, but yeah, I think it's the most important part, especially on a tyrannical week. Don't wipe on a boss with 5% or 10% left or something like this. Play it clean. As a tank or as a Mythic Plus player from last season, I think I can recommend all the routes that were played last season. You can still play them; they are working, and they are definitely possible to time with them, and get used to them. And when you play these standard things from last season, you can improve by yourself for next week, or maybe even 1 week later, or then when it's getting higher and when you see there's maybe not much room anymore for mistakes, so you have to change something with the route and stuff like this. But at the moment, I would say go in, take the old route, play exactly the old route, and just take these affixes as a buff. I don't know any more the names, but there is three buffs. I think the Wu buff is the buff that gives you the stealth. I only recommend you to take this when you make a skip, and the other two buffs are just giving you damage. So there's not a lot to say about it. Just as a tank, I would give the information to my DPS that they always should take one of the damage debuffs. Because the relic, the three relics, they appear on some groups or on every boss fight. You have the possibility to kill one first, then a little mob. It's at the end a big mob. A mob is appearing, and you have to kill the mob, and then you get a buff. And two buffs you have that gives extra damage to the group, and you have one buff that gives you movement speed and a stealth. And you only need a movement speed and a stealth when you want to make a skip, but you can still make skips with invisible pots. So you can play around that thing if you want to make a skip, like for example in Halls of Atonement, if you want to make the skip from how is the boss called, the first one, Hakias or something like this. You want to skip from this boss to the second boss. Okay, you can use maybe this Wu thing, to this Wu buff to make this, but you can still just make this skip with an invisible potion. So play the old route, get used to it, get used to the affixes, and then later on adapt to the meta and how it will be. But right now 15s are easily possible to time. When you want to start a little bit lower, then I would recommend starting with 12, because I think they give you let me see what gives you a plus 12. Second. A plus 12 gives you 259 at the end of the dungeon, and you know that you can upgrade this later on. So if you get a bis item, you can upgrade it later on with the Weller. And yeah, it gives you 272 at the end of the week. So that's definitely a nice upgrade. I mean, usually the people have 252 on, so 272 is definitely a nice upgrade. Yeah, the recommendation is play 15s as much as possible. 8 would be like perfect. More is always good, but 8 is perfect for getting the big vault. But if you cannot handle 15s right now, then why not making one step back and playing 12s? They are much more easy. I mean, if you have problems to time a 15 by 1 or 2 minutes, whatever, then a 12 will be super easy for you and your group, if you have your group, and play a 12. Enjoy the game a little bit more, and this 6 item level at the end of the week. I mean, we play this now for the next 9 months, 10 months, maybe even a year. We play this patch, so don't get desperate because you're missing maybe 1 or 2 weeks an item with the perfect item level. I think it's also very important to get the base items and then maybe upgrade them later on and stuff like this. So yeah, yeah, don't rush it. If you cannot rush it, enjoy the game. But like I said, if you played 20 plus last season, then you definitely can time 15s. And that also, I talk about packing. If you play with people that had played 20 plus, 22 plus last season, you can easily time with them 15s, maybe even 16s, 17s. That's definitely possible. For me, it's a little bit undertuned even, because when I think about it, we get so big item levels at the at the now in the next few weeks. We go from 252 to 278, and it's 26 item levels. So, and even now with my item level, I have not one single upgrade on the first week, so I play completely with my old gear, and for me it's super easy with let me say normal or good groups to time 15s. So what is happening with plus 20 when we even know the affix better to play around it and all stuff like this? So at the end, for me right now, it's everything is fine. um what changed is these encrypted affixes buffs are not permanent during all the dungeon like it was before, um, but they are on nice places that you can think around playing around it, and the buffs are temporary. So and you have a buff on every boss. The mobs are easy to kill, I would say. The DPS should focus them because they can do a lot of damage if they live too long, so they can cause some trouble. But besides that, it is a nice affix. The tyrannical bolstering is not the best week, so there will be even more easy weeks follow. But yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just do it. Just play the game. If you are not fine with 15, start with 12, as I said, or maybe even lower. But my recommendation is 12 or 15. Higher when you can do it. But like I said, don't worry. Just play the game. It's definitely possible. I'm not a super high player or something like this. I had 2,533 last week. That's good, but not like war, something super special. So everybody can do it. Don't hesitate. Just have fun, enjoy the game, and fill your vault. Bye bye, guys. Have fun.